of the most diverse environments in the suburban home is the bathroom cabinet. The bathroom itself is a hot, steamy environment which encourages the growth of exotic flora. In its tropical climate, the shower recess is rapidly covered with fungus, and even toilet seats sprout mats of wild, brightly colored hair. But the most populous area of the entire environment is the bathroom cabinet itself. The inhabitants of this realm are broadly classifiable into three categories: the bottles, the tubes, and the packets. The bottles are shy little creatures which cluster together, gluing themselves to the shelf for protection. They then dribble their contents down over their labels so they can't be identified. The tubes employ a means of self-defense whereby they glue up their openings so that when you squeeze them, at first, nothing comes out until you squeeze very hard, whereupon they suddenly burst out viciously at their attackers. The packets, on the other hand, are passive, quiet creatures which proliferate by spreading these silver seed pods all over the landscape, which burst, scattering the tiny white seeds as far as the eye can see. Indeed, all species in this environment breed prolifically. There's never less than 14 varieties of cough medicine and 52 varieties of headache pill. Not all of these species, however, are friendly. The grisly toothbrush deters people from using it by its appearance alone. And somewhere in the back corner, the laxettes are waiting for their prey. The most elusive species in the entire environment are, of course, the disinfectant, the cotton buds, and the band-aids, which, even though they fall into the sink every time you open the door, as soon as someone is bleeding prolifically, they can't be found anywhere. This area of the home, which is called the kitchen, is extremely rich in foodstuffs, particularly underneath the fridge. The high cupboards are filled with a wide assortment of dry goods and condiments. Interestingly, condiments never occur singly. There will always be at least 2 jars of each spice, each with a little bit in the bottom. Also, in this region, we find creatures such as packet soup, animals which survive year after year by the simple technique of being inedible. But the lower cupboards are a different story. These represent one of the great fossil deposits of the world. Here in the gloom, behind the mixmaster, we find the relics of a bygone age. These are the teeth of the now extinct giant hand mincer. This tiny article is all that remains of a once extensive variety of preserving jars. And here we have a beautiful find, preserved almost perfectly, an original K-tail kitchen magician. Also typically in this environment, we find egg rings, jelly molds, a set of plastic lids for which it appears there were never any balls, and at least 17 different varieties of grater. Somehow, all these disconnected and quite useless objects seem to have carved out their own ecological niche here, in which they exist on a permanent basis. But even greater mysteries await us next time when we embark on the final leg of our journey through this, the Australian home.